Well, good morning, my friend, and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you with me on this Thursday morning. And it's a cold one here in the Oklahoma City area. I went out and took my walk this morning and prayed. 12 degrees outside when I went out. And I think this is the coldest day of the week and it's supposed to warm up a little bit for the weekend and then drop back down again next week. We had a little bit of snow and ice yesterday, but great services last night. Man, if you missed church last night, oh, my friend, you missed a good one, and I'm sorry that you did. Streets were just fine. They weren't iced in at all. It was easy to drive in and home. Nobody. It was a great night to be in church, and I'm thankful for those who did come, and thank you for your faithfulness to church. Certainly do appreciate that. And now looking forward to today as we get ready for the weekend, and of course then Sunday night at the church. We're having I Love My Church Sunday, and on Sunday night where we give our I Love My Church offerings and we tell the totals of that. Looking forward to that as well. And then after the service, we're going to be having tacos and rice and beans after the service. It's a time of fellowship with the church family. Looking forward to God doing something mighty there. And so you make sure you're in your place. Let's have a great day this coming Sunday. Let's see what God can do as we get ready for a great weekend. And of course, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and you do what you can to get around your Valentine and spend some time with them. That would be a good thing to do, no matter who you are. Hey, if you're married, you better make sure that you spend some time with your wife or your husband, and let's make that a great time. You only have one life to live. Make the most of it while you have it, because you'll wish that you would have done it after it's already done. Well, today, Numbers chapter 11, verse 23, the scripture says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not." The Israelites had become weary of the daily manna God had given them to eat. Because they had become weary, they complained to Moses and Aaron about only having manna to eat. The fact that God was preparing their food, their meal every day, should have been good enough for these people. But sadly, it was not. When God heard their complaining, he told Moses, he said he would give people flesh to eat on the morrow. But Moses could not see how God could give this great host of people enough meat to eat all in one meal. But you see, what Moses' doubt caused him to say to God, he said, "Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice for them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them?" Moses did not see how God could supply enough meat to feed this great host in one day. And God responded to Moses by asking, he says, "Is the Lord's hand shortened, that it cannot save? Is the Lord's hand waxed short?" That's what he was saying. God was reminding Moses that his hand has never fallen short of any need. Oh, I love that he or Israel had ever had, and that it was still powerful enough to meet their needs, to meet them, to provide the meat for that next day. And by the way, God did. Now, God's hand will never fall short of doing through your life what he says he will do. All you need to do is trust him and follow him. That's what you got to do. God's very capable of supplying your daily needs, as he supplied the daily needs of Israel in the wilderness. God is very capable of supplying your needs, as he did for Elijah by sending ravens to feed him. God's hand is very capable of caring for your health needs, family needs, church needs, and any need that you have today. You see, God's hand has always been long. He's never come short. When he comes short, it's like you're reaching for something, but you can't quite get it. God's hand always has enough to get what you need in life. Now, let me give you a few things about this little truth that will encourage you with your needs today. First, God's hand has never failed in the past to supply the need of the day. So God's hand was not shortened when he defeated the great Midianite army with only 300 men. God's hand was not shortened when he gave water to over 1 million people through a rod. God's hand was not shortened to separate Israel from the plagues of Egypt. The scriptures are filled with illustrations that God's hand has never been short of the need for that day. Second, God's power has proven that his hand will never be short of the present need. God has the same power today that he had in the past. To doubt God's power to supply today's need is to say that God is not God. God had the power to give a child to a 90-year-old lady who was past the manner of women. And he was still powerful enough to give seed to a virgin so that his son would be born in a miraculous way. Whatever God has done in the past, he still has the same power to do today. Third, God's character has not changed to be sure that his hand will not be short to meet your needs. Malachi 3:6 says, "For I am the Lord, I change not." God's character to supply the need abundantly above what you ask or think is still applicable today if you trust him and go forward by faith. God gave his word that his hand is not shortened and that word does not change today. God's character is true. He will supply your need. Now, whatever your need is today, God's hand is not shortened that it cannot supply your need. Trust God. Keep him doing right. You're going to find that God seeks to show the power of his hand through your life. But you must trust and obey him to see your need supplied. Do you have a great need today? Are you looking at your need today and you say, "Preacher, I just don't know how it's going to be met"? Is God's hand shortened? Has his hand waxed short? Is your problem too far away from God that he can't show his power through your life? Oh, my friend, what a great promise that we have. Moses looked to God and said, "God, how are you going to do this?" God says, "Moses, is my hand waxed short?" He said, "I parted the Red Sea. I delivered you from Egypt. I've given you manna from heaven. I put the cloud and the fire to protect you and to guide you. Is my hand waxed short?" You see, God is still capable today. Our problem is we got to get past our doubt. Don't let doubt rob you of trusting God and seeing what God can do in your life. If you get rid of the doubt and go forward by faith, God can do something mighty through your life. Always understand, you go forward until you have no place to go. And when you say, "I don't know how I'm going to do it," is God's hand waxed short? God will always show up and help you through that time as he's always done in the past. Well, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today, as we go throughout our day, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great